Okay. We start our second morning session with the first talk by Yukio, Pegio, Gunji. He was also at the first conference, Words of Entanglement, in 2017. So it is very nice pleasure that you come back and now long travel from Japan to Chile. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Thomas. My talk is titled by subject non-locality and cognitive system. This is the content of my talk. First of all, I talk about non-locality and cognitive system, and it is difficult to measure with humans. Second, the cognitive and binary relation. And third, I shift from relation to lattice, algebraic structure of the logic, and by using Rhapsody triple lattice. And fourth, especially the condition with I show function with non-locality is reduced to orthogonal lattice. And fifth, I show some application to different three processes derived freedom of locality in terms of freedom. And finally, we show conclusion. My idea is very simple, and further, locality and cognition is defined by the following statement. State that the different side can be measured without inference. So, non-locality is defined by the statement that the different side cannot be measured without influence. In other words, measuring state at different side can influence the state. This situation can be demonstrated by the following situation. Imagine that you try an entrance examination of the university, and the test number of you is covered by a sheet of the paper. And if you take the cover off before the come to the test number, you can measure your test number, but your admission of the university can be cancelled or changed. So, observing the test number, it can influence your state. And such non-locality appears whenever you make a decision. This is a special cat. And if you determine this is a cat, such an ambiguous state, this is a cat and this is not a cat, is hidden in this decision making, because this indicates such a material or individual material or something like that. And this is, on one hand, is similar like a cat. But this is also like a human or mouse or dust. So if you ignore the property this is not a cat, you can determine this is a cat is determined. So whenever you make decision this is a cat, both a cat and not a cat is repeated. The situation is one like this. If you focus on the particular focus context, and in a context, cat or dog context, and in this context, the cat is distinguished from dog, and dog is distinguished from cat. But this cat is also supported by the other properties, like human, like dust, or like a bus, in the outside of the focus context. So this cat is on one hand the cat, but it is supported with the property of linear assessment, like this. And now we show cognition and binary relation. Here, the cognition is expressed as a binary relation between representation and law, in the brain and the object in the external world. This is representation of the object is just the first assumption. After that, we see this representation of the object virtual appear from real object, real entity. And here, this is a red round line as insect and red. So, there's a relation between insect and red round line and red line. And also, this is cucumber. There's a baseball and grain. So, there's a relation between baseball and grain. And it is expressed by molecular pattern. So there's a relation between red round line insect and red round line red. The element of the matrix is painted blue, and otherwise they're black. So this is more general case. Here, a universe consists of red round line, chili, sun, grasshopper, cucumber, a bronze, tomato, one, potato, red, caterpillar, beetle. And here, red round line, chili, sun is categorized by red, and red ant, beetle, and caterpillar categorized by insects. And here, red, green, vegetable, insects, independent with each other. And here, we can obtain one relation like this. Relation between the small y and capital X is defined by there exists some element in the universe S belonging to both capital X and Y. Here, this grasshopper belongs to capital B and small b, this. So, the diagonal element is painted black. And now we introduce the non-locality in this diagram. So, red and green is categorized the complex cards, and based on insects categorized as complex organisms. And in a context of colors, red, the feature of red is distinguished from green. And red is connected by vegetable, insect, outer colors, such as red dragonfly is an insect, and chili is a vegetable, also color. So red is embodied by vegetable and insect. And the similar situation we can see for green. And in context of organisms, vegetable is distinguished from insect. There is no relation. There is no relation between elements of tomato and vegetable, like this. But vegetable is connected by red and green out of those categories. Vegetable is embodied by red seeds and green seeds like this. And insect also. So we can see we focus some context, and the universe is functionalized by my context, and the things very hidden relation like this. And if you omit the context, we can see the relation between object and representation of the object like this. So this relation is reduced to two partitions of the universe like this. And here, the red dragonfly is belongs to capital red, representation of red, and of the legacy values. So, you can see the relation between small area and capital red. And level of together is representation of red, but it is red thing, so it belongs to small c, something like this. And that representation, it's a vessel. So you can see the relation between C and D and something like that. So in this form, you can see the relation small n capital N, small c capital N, and small d n capital N. And in this shows general form of cognition is non-locality. In terms of the binary relation, it consists of diagonal relation and with all relation out of diagonal relation. Because the focus elements are supported by things out of focus. And in each context, element can be distinguished from each other like this. And where elements are supported by other contexts, something like that. That means no locality combination here. Now we show from relation to values by introducing Rhapsody-driven values. Now, given the universe, consisting of things, reality, A, B, C, D, E, and map F represents a particular condition like this. So the universe is partitioned by map F. And this loop represents equivalence class induced by a particular equivalence relation R. R is X, R, Y. It is defined by Fx equal Fy. And now we here introduce the concept of offset. Given the universal subset U, R is equivalence relation. And for subset X, lower expression of X with respect to equivalence relation R is defined by a collection of elements whose equivalence class included by X. And upper expression of X with respect to R is defined by a collection of X whose equivalence class has an intersection with X. This is a typical example of the offset of X. This rectangle represents universe or generation, and this fragments represents a ground class, and this area represents a subset X. And given this subset, lower approximation of X with respect to R is represented by this radiator, because lower approximation is represented by or defined by equivalence class included by X. On the other hand, by contrast, upper approximation of X with respect to R is represented by this blue area, because the intersection of the equivalence class and the X has there is an intersection, so like this. And if this equivalence class is reduced by neighborhood, lower approximation is compared to the second inner point, and upper approximation is compared to project. Now we will shift to partition to lattice. Here, given the universe and the various partition like this, and here we correct a fixed point with respect to upper approximation, and this correction can constitute a bigger lattice, Boolean lattice. And it is easily verified. If there is only one partition, our tape lattice is always Boolean. It needs a particular Boolean lattice, and these are atoms, and anything can be reduced to atoms, and anything can be expressed as some atoms. And now we introduce lattice derived from two partitions, two equals classes, given the universal set, and R and S, two kind of equivalence relations. And here, the correction of the fixed point of T and the fixed point of K lattices, where T equals a composition of upper approximation of R and lower approximation of S, and K represents the upper approximation of S and the lower approximation of R. And here we can define meet and join in this open set, and it is easy to verify this open set is closed with respect to this meet and join. So they are lattices. Actually, given the universal set, two kinds of red partitions and blue partitions derived from two kinds of map, G and F. Yeah, we obtain these two partitions, and we correct a fixed point with respect to the composition of two kinds of approximation or something like that. Finally, we obtain this is a following. And here, lattice is represented by a Hasse diagram. In the Hasse diagram, the element of the lattice is represented by circle. And if two elements have ordered, the bigger element is drawn above, and the smaller one is represented below, such like. And actually, if we given two various partitions, we can find any lattice. We can verify in 2010 what is called representative theorem. This is an example of the correction of the fixed point. And here, this is equivalence plus R, partition derived from R, and this is a partition derived from S. And first, we choose a subset of the universal set, single set A, and R star A, the upper approximation, because this is equivalent plus, this is AB, because there is an intersection. And second, this is partition S, and this is the equivalent plus, and this is the lower approximation S. So the only set A is included by this AB. So S AB equal S A. So the composition of S A equal A, and then A is fixed point with respect to this composition. By contrast, DE is not a fixed point. So if any subset fixed point with respect to this composition, underlying lattice power set of the universal set. So the obtained lattice must be Boolean logic. But in this situation, there is some information loss the loss of information. So some subset not fixed point. Then they find non-distributed lattice or non-comprehensive lattice or such a thing. And it is easy to see the composition of X and R. There are four kinds of order: SR, RS, and upper approximation, lower approximation combination. But obtained lattice isomorphic with each other like this. So the order and the lower upper approximation like this is not essential. Now, when we talk about force modularities, which is here, by the catalog without Taylor space. Now, as mentioned before, I showed cognition with non-locality is expressed as diagonal relation, and with all relation outside of diagonal relation. And here we apply absolute lattice, and the obtained lattice is the harmonic. Each diagonal relation is expressed as a Boolean lattice, like this. And due to the all relation outside of the diagonal relation, they can constitute a disjoint union like this. So, any element diagonal relation is expressed as 2n Boolean algebra. It means the Boolean algebra consists of 2n elements. And disjoint union of Boolean algebra implies only top and bottom are common for all Boolean algebras. Yeah, it is easily verified in other contexts, by us. The Professor Carl Slaughter showed the significance of all disjoint system of Boolean algebra with principle of randomness and disability in physics. And here is lattice is a disjoint union of Boolean algebra, and top and bottom are common. And there are no rank 3 loops. This disjoint ADB is reduced to force modularities. So the formal disjoint system of the Boolean algebra can be compared to diagonal to focus complex and non-focus complex or Rubin's base. And this diagram compares the interval of the base and phase. And here, if you focus on the particular diagonal relation, you can see Boolean algebra. And the other side of the rest of the ideas also promote the disjoint union of Boolean algebra. Not very compare to actual intentional processes and consciousness like this. And now we show a small application to the effect and three consciousness. Now, as Thomas showed, category realization decision experiment and the projection fallacy and modern projection aggregation can be recently expanded by quantum psychology as in the very and so on. Especially Hans and Thomas show that the general form of the Ruby effect of A plus B, the larger than A plus B divided by 2. Although it is a master of classical systems, it can be appeared in the experiment. Now, we showed there is some local function from lattice to 0-1 interval of the space, and it is assumed that assume E of E equal P equals P minus P and this monotonous function. And the assumption of the monotonous, we assume P equal E rather than PA and P equal E rather than PB. So from this, we can obtain this one. And this is actually down from the Wiki effect. And how can we prove this problem in our context? In our context, also there is an operation modified classical photoread space from real space to post-modularis to formal research system, something like that. And here the probability in our item and the category is just some set like this. The probability of item X in the category C is defined by the number of variables in lattice like this. And this is very simple case, but the operation can introduce binary relation sometimes represented by dotted line. And it results in the change of the lattice from Vrije to the Chinese mountain or something like that. And here we define with respect to category A like this, and this is the item, and the subsequent item is category, and it's also a category B. And we can calculate the probability of category A with respect to item X is element of these elements and the big elements or something like that, like this. And the operation appears is applied lattice is changed into Chinese mountain or something like that. So there was some theory that can obtain this as a general case of the effect. And now we show the second application. Three processes we have dilemma of locality, determinism, we show that in the previous one of the Entanglement focus, and that some part of this topic is appearing condition of science to level of determinism, free will, and locality. And here, this dilemma is expressed as in binary definition. And free will is expressed as defined as a multiple supplement, and determinism is one-to-one relation with each supplement. And locality is expressed as no crossing the Buddha of supplement like this. And the answer, no locality, no free will, is no supplement, no one-to-many relations, and crossing the Buddha of supplement like this. And it is easily verified, this can constitute true data. And we finally, one of the determinism of free will and locality has to be given up. So we are going to and final validation of this three kinds of processes like this, Boolean like this, the product of Chinese random type lattices like this, and almost disunion with Boolean with condition. Yeah, that is mentioned before, the condition is no longer. Yeah, that is a conclusion. Non-locality condition here expressed as a situation in which element in the context is supported by other contexts. It reveals that a conditioned world consists of compartments which are connected with each other. And such a connected world can be expressed as possible study by logic without human space. But if it is assumed that with the relation of non-biased function, motivation, publicly explained by non-locality condition. Example definition.
Yukio. There is space for questions, room for questions, time for questions. I have a question. Well, I like very much your talk. Unfortunately, I couldn't stay the whole time, so I think I want to discuss more with you. But I'm trying to remember this guys that at the beginning of your talk, it reminded me formal concept analysis, FCA. Have you heard of that? Formal concept analysis. It looks very much like what you were presenting in the beginning, but then you open it up for quantum, because they remain very like classical logic. And that's why when I studied that, I didn't like it because of that. So it's very interesting. And also, are you aware of the work on Bussmeyer on this? You know, the Bussmeyer, he did last year, because I was editing that special issue, and he published something very similar to what you are doing, but it lacked, because he started at the Hilbert space level, so it lacks this orthomodular structure that you were presenting. So I think, and I now understand the question of the shifts that you were asking me before, because it's what you were talking about. So now it's very, I think there are, I'm going to send you some resources, because I know many other people are pointing to this direction. So yes, thank you. And any other question? Bill?
Thanks. It's an interesting talk. There are a couple of issues for me, or the goal to put things in, to partition things into specific categories. I'm not so sure that that's always possible. It's certainly possible with objects like bananas, grasshoppers, and colors. But even with colors, there are degrees of gradation that make it confusing which color you're talking about. And so I have some problems there. I like your concept of orthomodular. I think that's good. And I think your attempt to deal with illusions is good. But my question really is, so what can you do with this? Can you make any predictions?
Yeah, no, first of all, I think to introduce quantum mechanics in quantum science directly, I think there is no fundamental reason. So I want to construct a very simple assumption to construct the quantum mechanical device. And as a result, it loses Hilbert space. And I can predict the signal as well as Thomas talk. I can predict the result of the quantum experiment which can be explained by this context or not. Yeah, this is okay.
Thank you. But now I think we should discuss more later, perhaps, of what are the instances of capitalism, freedom, love. Yes, I see these abstract concepts. But then there are some indications. Some work can be done in that direction. And I have a question of a shy person who doesn't want to speak in the microphone, so ask me to make this question for you. You made a mistake because you put the sun is red. No, it's a joke. It's a joke. Because in Japan, sun is red. And I was just explained that the flag in Japan has a red circle, and that is the sun. I didn't know that. And I couldn't know that. So can you please elaborate on the redness of the sun, and also, of course, in the context of cultural differences when modeling cognitive systems, please? It's a joke. Yes.
Yeah, this is a very interesting question, but...
because for us it's yellow, and for me it's yellow. Sun.
Yeah, I understand. What I want to emphasize is any making decision, the sun is yellow or sun is red,
Yes.
but the sun is not yellow or sun is not red is hidden in many making decisions. So this constitutes non-locality in macroscopic condition without content of the values. Yeah, that is all.
So, just to understand, when you say non-locality, I'm having trouble understanding what is distance, separation. So, being red and being not red, that is the distance. And then you say it's non-local because the two things can be together. They like the superposition state of dead and alive means non-locality to you. In this sense, is it the case?
And non-locality means there is no super observer over anything in the space.
Okay, great. Thank you once again, Yukio, for the talk.